This is WTVM News Leader 9.
I open my mouth to the Lord and I won't turn back, no. I will go. I shall go. I'll see what the end is going to be.
Wow, one of the greats there tonight, remembering Maya Angelou, the renowned poet, passed away today at the age of 86.
We look back at her life and talk to local residents about her long legacy.
Now we're tracking more storms out there as well. Here's one down to our south. We'll tell you where this thing is heading and have the rest of your full forecast coming up.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for News Leader 9 at 5. I'm Barbara Gauthier.
And I'm Jason Dennis. In our top story tonight, poet, actress, and educator Maya Angelou has died. Angelou died today at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. She had been battling health problems recently. One of her most famous books is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Angelou was also a civil rights activist. Listen as Jesse Jackson reflects on her influence to the world.
All with Dr. King, or Malcolm X, or Oprah Winfrey, she never stopped teaching. When she walked, we followed. When she wrote, we read. When she performed, we listened. We're all inspired by this voice of the authentic woman.
Miss Angelou served on 2 presidential committees, was awarded the Presidential Medal for the Arts in 2000 and the Lincoln Medal in 2008. She was 86 years old.
Well, teachers and mentors in the Chattahoochee Valley say the legendary author and poet Maya Angelou played a big role in guiding and inspiring many students in our area. News Leader 9's Sarah Lim met with some local experts to talk about Angelou's impact locally and across the globe.
She just found a way, some hope in her heart, just to push through it and make sure, like, she just got through things. She never gave up her hope.
10-year-old Jordan Howard has been in Girls Inc. since she was 5 years old.
She's gone. It feels like she's still here.
And Girls Inc. at Baker Center will be having their Maya Angelou performance next Friday. But make sure to watch News Leader 9 at 6 tonight as well. See how Maya Angelou inspired some other folks in our area with their career path and more. In the studio, I'm Sarah Lim for WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Angelou was in this area just about a year and a half ago. These are images of her visit to Auburn University in November of 2012. She was invited as part of a lecture series involving extraordinary women. Here's part of a poem from that night.
Like the sun wasn't gonna shine anymore. Once riding in old Baltimore, my head was filled, my heart was filled with glee.
We have much more local reaction as well as kids from Girls Inc. reading her poems. All that on our website, WTVM.com. She will definitely be missed.
News Leader 9.
Good evening. Welcome to coverage you can count on at 5:30. I'm Barbara Gauthier. We're going to go straight ahead and get to our primary election coverage in Alabama right now. More than 700,000 Alabama voters expected to hit the polls today. It's the first election where voters will be required to show a government-issued photo ID. News Leader 9's Elizabeth White joins us live now from the Lee County Courthouse Annex, where Auburn, Opelika, and Lee County votes will be counted and posted. Elizabeth?
Hey, good afternoon, Barbara. You know, and as you mentioned, this is the first time Alabama voters have been required to show a government-issued photo ID. We are told that is going extremely well at the polls today. No major problems with that. Also, voters, instead of marking an arrow like we used to when we voted on our ballots this year, we're actually filling in bubbles because there's a new type of counting system happening in Lee County and other counties across the state. That is going well too. So really, Election Day has been a smooth process here in the Lee County area. Now, we've got reporters all over East Alabama focusing on some of the major races really impacting the state of Alabama. Here in Lee County, I'm going to be focusing on 2 Lee County races and then also a race in Chambers County. Let's go ahead and tell you about those races right now. First, we've got Republican primary for the U.S. House District 3. That is the incumbent Mike Rogers versus Republican Thomas Cason. The winner will advance to face Democrat Jesse T. Smith in November, and Lisa Moore, she is an independent. They will, of course, have that election in November. Now, we're also going to be watching State Board of Education District 2 candidates in that Republican primary are Betty Peters. She is the incumbent versus Barry Sadler. The winner is unopposed in November, so the seat for State Board of Education District 2 will be decided tonight in this primary. Now, we're also going to be watching a race for you out in Chambers County. Chambers County Sheriff Republican primary that pits Chad Roberts versus Jimmy Allen, and the winner will face the current sheriff of Chambers County, that's Sid Lockhart, in November's general election because the sheriff is running unopposed in the Democratic primary. Now, as we speak, voters are still marking their decisions at the polls and the precincts here in East Alabama. Got about 2.5 hours left to go of voting, so still plenty of time to make sure your voice is heard in this Republican and Democratic primary. Now, again, when you do go to the polls, be aware that you will have to declare whether or not you want to vote Republican or Democrat. You will not be allowed to vote both tickets in the primary. And again, we are told it's been smooth sailing, at least here in Lee County, for voting. Folks not having an issue with those voter IDs, those photo IDs they are being required to bring with them under Alabama state law. And of course, instead of airing, they're making those bubbles. We are told that has been smooth sailing as well. And of course, we're going to be live here all day for election coverage you can count on. For now, reporting live from Lee County, I'm Elizabeth White.
All right, Elizabeth, thank you. Another big race we're watching. Local business owner Sandy Toomer is running against incumbent Speaker of the House Mike Hubbard for the House District 79 seat in Auburn. News 9's Annie Hubble caught up with Toomer this afternoon. She joins us live now from the Clarion Inn and Suites in Auburn with the latest on this race. Annie?
Well, good afternoon, Barbara. This is Sandy Toomer's first time running for office in Auburn, but he says that he has been working for the residents of District 79 for years. He is the owner of Toomer's Coffee in Auburn, and one of his main campaign goals is to limit term limits. He believes the longer politicians stay in office, the less they represent their constituents and more special interest groups. Toomer describes himself as a people person, and he said if he is elected tonight, he can't wait to sit down with the people of this community and answer any questions they may have. Take a look.
People who've met me know I'm very much of a people person. I like to be out among people, and that's one of the things you will see a big difference is as your representative, I will be out there amongst you every day.
Now, Toomer is also a proponent of lower taxes, improving education by not implementing Common Core. Toomer was actually just here at the Clarion Inn and Suites in Auburn, greeting residents as they came to cast their vote. Now, coming up at 6, we spoke with incumbent Speaker of the House Mike Hubbard about his election this past couple of months and where he stands now with all of those allegations he is facing. For now, reporting live in Auburn, Annie Hubble, WTVM News Leader 9.
And so this is WTVM News Leader 9.
We head to the Plains with News Leader 9's Annie Hubble, where Auburn fans remember the life and legacy of a football star. Plus, the U.S. Supreme Court makes a groundbreaking decision today on businesses and birth control. Our Brittany Dion brings us the latest.
And we are watching a very strong storm move out of Harris County into eastern sections of Columbus. We'll be tracking these for you and have a look at your forecast coming up.
Good evening and welcome to coverage you can count on at 5:30. I'm Cheryl Renee. Thanks so much for joining us. News of the death of former Auburn University football player Philip Luzenkirchen has sent shockwaves around the nation. Luzenkirchen and Georgia baseball player Ian Davis were killed in a car wreck early Sunday morning in Troup County. News Leader 9's Annie Hubble has been on Auburn's campus all day speaking with his friends and fans. She joins us live from Toomer's Corner with more. Hi, Annie.
Well, good afternoon. Even though it is a summer semester here at Auburn, the campus was in a very somber mood all day today. I'm here at Toomer's Corner, where friends and family of 23-year-old Philip Luzenkirchen rolled the trees behind me in his honor yesterday afternoon. Now, everyone we have spoke with today cannot really wrap their minds around the fact that one of Auburn's most well-known faces is gone. However, they are trying to focus on and remember Phil for the kind of soul that he has and the legacy he has left behind.
He was tweeting, all these inspirational things to always look for the good in everything and, learn from experiences. And that's just reassuring. And so we can take that and celebrate his life instead of being in such a sad mourning. It is somber, but we need to take it and remember him for who he was.
Now, Lutzenkirchen's last tweet read, quote, "I know God's working, so I smile." He posted that Thursday. Now, since news of Lutzenkirchen's passing early yesterday morning surfaced, there has been an outpouring of love and compassion via social media from friends, fans, and coaches around the nation. Now, everyone we spoke to today who didn't know him personally feel a genuine loss because of the impact he had on them during his time at Auburn. We have heard that there is a memorial service planned for Wednesday at his alma mater, Lassiter High School in Marietta, Georgia. For now, reporting live at Toomer's Corner, Annie Hubble, WTVM News Leader 9.
Right, thanks so much, Annie. You can read more about Lutzenkirchen's career and the tragic accident. Just visit our website, WTVM.com, and click on the Quick Links tab. We are learning new details about a tragic traffic accident involving an East Alabama boy. The 12-year-old was riding a trike when he was killed Friday. News Leader 9's Rosalind Giles spoke to a Phoenix City police officer about what's next in the case.
Well, Cheryl, Lieutenant Andy Williams in the Phoenix City Patrol Unit tells me the victim, Christopher Haywood, seen here in this Facebook picture, was on the passenger side of a three-wheeled trike. The vehicle looks similar to the one in this picture. 12-year-old Christopher Haywood and the 34-year-old driver both jumped from the vehicle on Bayview Drive, both now due to problems with the throttle on Friday. That's according to Coroner Arthur Sumbry Jr. Lieutenant Williams also says accidents involving this kind of vehicle are very rare in Phoenix City.
I'm not real familiar with very many of them at all in town. I have seen a couple of other ones. In many years I've been here and investigating crashes. I've never personally been involved with an investigation involving one of these vehicles.
Now, the rules of the road are different for trikes compared to motorcycles. We do know both the teen and the driver, we said, jumped to avoid crashing. Coming up, details on whether or not police say there will be any charges in this case. Hear what Lieutenant Williams has to say about that coming up at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to coverage you can count on at 5:30. I'm Simone Doughton. Cheryl has the night off. Well, the prolonged hot weather we've been having is hard on our vehicles, but a little preventative maintenance can go a long way towards ensuring that you don't wind up stranded on the side of the road withering in the heat while waiting on a tow truck. News Leader 9 Sarah Lim looked into ways to keep your car safe this summer in our top story.
With the temperatures in the upper 90s throughout the week, everyone in the Chattahoochee Valley is feeling. Now, Epperly Tires say they see more customers in summer than they do in winter. It's important for you to make sure that you get your coolant system checked, your air conditioning checked as well, your batteries and your tire pressures should be checked at least once a month as well. In the studio, I'm Sarah Lynn for WTVM News Leader 9.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. Well, the man who's accused of leaving his child in a hot car has been charged with murder. Justin Harris says he forgot to take his 22-month-old son Cooper to daycare Wednesday morning at the on-site child care facility where he works. It was on his way home when he actually realized his child had died. His lawyer says he's surprised the father faces a murder charge after a case from 2011 backs him up where a 21-year-old daycare worker accidentally left her cousin inside a hot car. The 5-month-old died and the woman was charged with manslaughter and cruelty to children, but that case was eventually dropped when prosecutors said they could not prove it was anything other than an accident. And in Augusta, 20-year-old Alicia Magnault left her two-week-old infant in a car unattended for nearly an hour. Authorities say she was taking final exams at Virginia College when a deputy noticed the baby, climbed through the sunroof of her car, and rescued that child. Doctors say this is a close call.
They just don't have the mechanisms that adults do to get themselves in an area with moving air so that you can evaporate. That's your best way of cooling off.
The mom will be charged with second-degree cruelty to children, but in Atlanta, 22-month-old Cooper Harris is one of more than 24 Georgia children who have died in hot cars over the last 20 years.
And some folks are getting one of those showers or thunderstorms to cool them off today. Here's a view of the radar across the valley. A few light showers popping up from
Emma Radis of Heritage Hills put on a fashion show to raise awareness for Alzheimer's Association. The runway highlighted patients in summer casual wear, military uniform, and a glitz and glam formal wear. All the proceeds from today's show go to the Alzheimer's Association in an effort to eliminate the disease. We spoke to the program director on what this means for our community.
And basically, we just wanted to get the residents residents involved in our fundraising efforts and make it about them. And I felt like it would give us more reign and give us an opportunity to bring people in and see what we're doing for our residents here who suffer from Alzheimer's disease.
Bellamy says they are in charge of raising $2,500 annually through fundraisers for the Alzheimer's Association, and they plan on doing many more future fashion shows. A group on Fort Benning is under new leadership. We were at the change of command ceremony today as Colonel William Thigpen took command of the 316th Cavalry Brigade from Colonel David Davison. Major General McMaster welcomed Thigpen and called him a great commander. We spoke with Thigpen about his new goals.
Dave Davison has actually moved the unit forward and set conditions to functionalize the brigade and bring all the like-type units under his umbrella. My goal is to complete that process and continue the success that he's actually already established.
Colonel Davison has been reassigned to Fort Sam in Houston, where he will serve as the operations officer for U.S. Army North. The 70th annual Miss Georgia pageant is going on right now in Columbus at the River Center. 80 women from across the state are competing for the title of Miss Georgia 2014 and Miss Georgia's Outstanding Teen 2014. During the preliminary competition, Miss Columbus won this year's Miss America Community Service Award. The final night of the competition is Saturday night, and of course we will have the winner of the Miss Georgia pageant live in our studios this Sunday on the news at 6. Time to step into the event zone. The Columbus State University's Department of Theater invites the public to see the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. Now, this is a play about 6 awkward adolescents trying to make it to a big spelling championship. Showtime is at 7:30 p.m. at CSU's Riverside Theater Complex in Columbus. The LGBT community in Columbus is holding the Colgay Pride Festival. The festival features several speakers, entertainment acts, and a concert. It's all happening tomorrow from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. in Uptown Columbus. If you would like more information about this event, call the number listed there on your screen. And don't forget about Fabulous Fridays at Callaway Gardens, Robin Lake Beach. Kick off your summer weekends with festivities including great food, drinks, a circus, and beach activities in a family-friendly environment. The fun goes on until 9 tonight. Coming up on News Leader 9 at 5:30, we have 2 special guests in the studio to talk about big events happening in Columbus this weekend. More from Foxy 105's Baby J, and Georgia is just ahead.
And here's what temperatures feel like right now when you factor in the humidity. We'll talk more about the summer heat and your weekend forecast coming up for you right after the commercial break.